was leading services last year on Rosh Hashanah, I found myself there on the bima struck by a line in the liturgy in a way that I never had been before. And this occurred during the Shacharit service, the morning service on Rosh Hashanah, in a piyut, a liturgical poem called Le'el Orech Din, which describes God as the ultimate arbiter of justice. And this piyut is kind of describing to us what God is up to on this day of judgment, on Rosh Hashanah. Every line in the piyut ends either with the word badin or with the words beyom din, in judgment or on the day of judgment. There's a lot of judgment going on over and over and over in this piyut, and we would expect it to paint God maybe in kind of a harsh way. But in fact, surprisingly, the piyut paints a very tender, different kind of image of God, where God is bochen levavot, probing hearts, gole amukot, revealing depths, hogedeot, contemplating ideas, yodea machshavot, knowing thoughts, tsofen istarot, seeing the hidden. This actually is what God is doing on the day of judgment, searching, reflecting, revealing. The line in the piyut that really struck me last year was lechovesh ka'aso badin, that God is working to conquer the divine anger. It struck me because I had, just before the high holiday season, unfortunately experienced a conflict in my own life with someone who was important to me, and I had brought some of that anger into Rosh Hashanah with me, and the piyut was telling me God is trying to conquer God's anger, and it seemed to be saying to me that I needed to do the same. The Torah, in fact, really asks us to emulate God. In Deuteronomy, it says that we should walk after God, and our tradition interprets that to mean that we should emulate God's attributes. So if God here is trying to conquer the divine anger, clearly we need to do the same. There's a beautiful midrash in the midrashic collection Yalkut Shimoni, which poses a very interesting question: what does God pray? And the answer given there, this is what God prays: may it be my will that my mercy will conquer my anger. So here we find a very personalized, even anthropomorphic depiction of God working very hard and praying to conquer anger, to transcend anger. So I'd like to suggest, as we enter this high holiday season, that those of us who may be bringing some anger from conflicts in our interpersonal lives into the season with us, that we also bring this divine kavanah with us as well, to be aware of the anger that we may be bringing with us and really to work very hard to transcend it. That doesn't necessarily mean that every conflict will be resolved, but it may mean finding a way to live with the anger, to dampen it, maybe even to turn it into something productive that can bring healing in those relationships. So I pray that this season brings all of us to a place of less anger and really greater peace within ourselves, with God, and with the people who are important to us in our lives. Shana Tova.